The gentleman from New York, Mr. Meeks, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, first, please give my heartfelt congratulations to the youngest Clinton on her decision to make a monumental move in her life.
Thank you. It was a very long, thoughtful process.
I also want to thank the President of the United States for, as he ended his speech last night, talking about the American people coming together and being unified. I think that we have forgotten that right after 9/11, the American people and, in fact, this Congress almost unanimously wanted to go into Afghanistan to make sure that we start doing the work that's being done now. The only time that when we became divided as a nation is when this president decided that Afghanistan was not to be our focus, that Iraq should be. And that's when, so I want to, and I think that part of what the president is trying to do is to bring this country back together so that we can refocus on where we was in the beginning when this horrific act took place that killed so many American people, American citizens. And I think that's the direction that we need to be moving back into, and united as a country. Democrats and Republicans were together at that particular time, and we should be together again as we move forward to doing what we have to do, and not, as Secretary Gates says, just abandoning Afghanistan for several reasons. So I want to compliment the President on that. With that being said, I also know that Secretary Gates and Admiral Mullen have indicated that we need to show the American people a shift in momentum within 12 to 18 months to ensure public support. And my question is, what do you think will demonstrate such a shift in momentum so that we can make sure that we have the confidence of the American people?
I think it starts with security, and the individual who will be able to tell us that is General McChrystal. It is what they seek. It's what the Afghans seek more than anything else as he travels throughout Afghanistan, because it's going in the wrong direction. From security, that gives us an opportunity to train and transfer security responsibility to the Afghan security forces. But I also think it's very clear we need to see progress on the part of the Karzai government. This gets to the ministers, the provincial governors, things like reconciliation, reintegration, local governance, how that is going as well. We need to look at, and I'm optimistic, look at continuing contributions on the part of our international partners as a measure. And this is 43 countries. We're not in this alone at all. 43 countries are here. So those are some of the areas that we would look at for progress over the next 18 months.
Well, let me ask, our current policy that the President espoused, would you describe that as, are we moving, is it counterinsurgency or counterterrorism?
It's principally counterinsurgency. It's very focused. It's focused on key population centers, key production centers, key lines of communications. It's not focused throughout the country. And in fact, we're going to ask our coalition partners to focus in the north and west, because the worst part of the insurgency is in the south and the east, in the Pashtun belt, and that's where we've sent the Marines in the south, and we will continue to. We'll put forces in there to. But there is a piece of this as resident, not just in the east and the south, but will be part of operations throughout the country.
The prior strategy, I don't know whether it's the same. I guess General McChrystal had indicated that we would need about 400,000 Afghan security forces. Is that figure still what we're shooting for, or aiming for?
Well, there's an aspirational goal out there that is somewhere in that number. But where we really are in this strategy is to look at it year to year. We know what we need. We know what we have. We know the things we have to fix with Afghan security forces right now. And we know where we want to be 1 year from now, 2 years from now, and we're going to assess that. And that's a high-risk area for us. So rather than put something out there that we couldn't achieve, we're going to look at it constantly, but literally year to year, and focus on achieving our annual goals.
And lastly, real quickly, because about the payment of that, but I heard some of that. I know that when it worked with reference to the surge in Iraq, it was because the Sunnis turned against the Al-Qaeda, and that was the awakening. And I was wondering if there's any such momentum that can be felt on the ground now in Afghanistan to show that that kind of shift is about to take place.
There is some of that. I would not say it's at the level of the Sons of Iraq at this point.
Gentleman's time has expired.